The indigenous peoples of the Philippines, commonly known as the Lumad, have faced many human rights violations in their fight for self-determination and autonomy. This has led to a long and ongoing struggle for their rights and recognition as indigenous peoples. The Lumad are composed of 18 indigenous peoples, many of whom are spread across the country. They are the original inhabitants of the Philippines, having inhabited the islands for thousands of years before the arrival of colonizers. Despite this, the Lumad are largely unrecognized, and their rights as indigenous peoples are not respected. The Lumad have faced displacement and land grabbing due to large-scale mining, logging, and agribusiness. These activities have caused extensive environmental destruction, loss of land, and a decrease in the availability of natural resources. This has caused a disruption of the traditional livelihood of many indigenous communities, forcing them to migrate in search of better opportunities. The Lumad have also been victims of human rights violations, such as extrajudicial killings, harassment, and violations of their right to free, prior and informed consent. This has been exacerbated by the presence of the military in their communities, as well as paramilitary groups that have been linked to the government. The Lumad have also faced discrimination in the form of lack of access to education, healthcare, and other basic services, as well as discrimination in employment and other forms of economic opportunities. This has led to a cycle of poverty and marginalization for many of these communities. The Lumad have been actively advocating for their rights and recognition as indigenous peoples. They have launched campaigns to raise awareness of their plight and to call for the recognition of their rights. They have also organized protests and other forms of civil disobedience to bring attention to their cause. In recent years, the Philippines has taken steps to recognize the rights of indigenous peoples and to protect their lands and resources. The Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act, IPRA, was enacted in 1997 to protect the rights of indigenous peoples and to promote their autonomy. However, many of the Lumad's rights remain unrecognized and their struggles continue. The fight for self-determination and recognition of their rights is an ongoing battle that will require the support of the government and civil society alike. Only then will the Lumad be able to live with dignity and autonomy.